Hello everybody, today's May 4th, 2011. We now have silver down 19% from its 31-year high price of $49.80, not quite breaking the $50.35 all-time high price. And I'm sure that a lot of people are just going nuts right now. People got in at 47, 48, 49 and second guessing themselves, wondering if they did the right thing, if they should get out, get back in later on when it drops another 10. I mean, like I said before, I can't say it enough times, don't try and trade the silver market. The long-term fundamentals are in place. Nothing has changed. These articles that I'm seeing coming out, people are talking about, the bubbles burst and it's all over with for silver investors. Whatever. I mean, those things, they're so laughable. They don't even mention the dollar. So every time I see someone knocking silver, I don't see them mention the dollar. That's like one of the biggest catalysts for the physical silver is the falling dollar. And that hasn't changed. I mean, the people who understand that, we're running a $1.7 trillion deficit and interest rates are being held down near zero and the money's just being printed by the Federal Reserve. 70% of the bonds to run the country are being printed by the Federal Reserve and they're buying the Treasury's bonds. I mean, the dollar's outlook is this way. That's the outlook for the dollar. And that's just going to push all the commodities up. I mean, I don't even see... I have an article here by the Motley Fool. I'm not even going to talk about the title or who wrote it. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of articles out there like this. But what's being pointed out here, we're looking at a chart from 1810 to 2010. So we're looking at long-term, what silver's done and how it's getting crazy right now. And it needs to go back to its mean of like, I don't know, whatever, in 2011 dollars, it's $18 mean. I mean, that, there's a couple titles in here, subtitles. Recent gains will reverse. Gold's real return. Silver could fall by 2/3. There's no reason for investors to expect anything more from silver. I mean, you're going to be seeing a lot of this. I wanted to come out with something to say that the long-term fundamentals have not changed. The demand for silver in 2010 was about 1 billion ounces. It was actually 1,055 million ounces, so a little over a billion. It was 922 million ounces in 2009. So the demand has jumped by 130 million ounces. Supply has only jumped like, 20, 30 million. I mean, the supply coming out of the ground is only like 730 million ounces. The demand is over a billion now, 300 million higher. That's being made up mainly by scrap, by stuff being melted down to make that up. The supply and demand is going to be the great equalizer here with the whole silver market. And, if personally, if I was to get in at $49 an ounce and we're at 39 now, this is an opportunity for me to forget that 49 price and to double up and to bring my average buy price down to 44.50. Now, this is coming from someone who's been studying the silver market for 4 years, listened to hundreds upon hundreds of interviews by people who spent 30 years studying the silver market, who see the huge opportunities that are here. I've read countless books. I've read, I don't know, probably 500 articles. 1,000 articles. I don't know. I mean, that's like one of my biggest pastimes the past 3-4 years is the silver market. And me personally, this is what I've been expecting. If you look at my past videos, I've been saying, don't trade the silver market. We need a big correction. We don't want to go straight up. A correction back into the mid-30s is welcomed. You can get some more silver at a cheaper price. And you don't want things to go straight up because they're going to crash back down. I mean, we'd rather have a step ladder. We don't want to just shoot straight up. So, I feel sorry for the people whose nerves are being jerked around by what's happening in the silver market, but this is silver. I mean, this is what years ago I read silver was all about. And a lot of people can't handle these types of swings. And now the swings we're having now are like unprecedented. We don't have these type of swings in silver. But a long-term physical bullion investor, this is just static, just noise. There's no reason to worry. Nothing has changed. I saw Eric Sprott, a billionaire investor who started the Sprott Investment, the silver fund, sort of like the SLV, started his own, and he sold a bunch. And people were saying, "Oh, look, Eric's getting out near 50, and we're at the top in the silver market." No, he was interviewed on Eric King saying, "I own more silver now than before I sold that." He sold those shares and he reinvested, probably because he sees some miners that are, undervalued because they haven't been moving with the silver bullion market. They haven't been moving up, a lot of those silver mining companies. So he probably saw some opportunities there. But he says he's reinvested all that money back into silver related assets. There's going to be people that either they miss the run, they're upset they didn't get in, they don't understand the fundamentals, they don't understand the falling dollar. We're going to have these people. I'm hoping that, I had one guy say that my video about $6,000 silver that Robert Kiyosaki mentioned, was a scam. I'm saying the same stuff as like the tulip mania back in the Middle Ages or whatever that was, and the tech boom, just people coming out like telling you to buy a house in 2005. Now, in 2003 and 4, I was reading books on the coming housing crash. I wasn't telling people to buy houses in 2005. I just checked, these two books are copyright 2003. And yes, that was the year that I bought them and read them. I didn't just buy them for the video. I couldn't figure out how a house cost 10 times my annual wage when my dad bought a house for 4 times his annual wage. It didn't make any sense to me. I knew there was going to be a correction coming. It's just common sense. It didn't make sense to get an interest-only loan and just get a house and everything's going to be fine. You don't get a negative amortizing loan. Woo! Aren't those a jiffy? So, anyway, there's no fundamental change in silver. This is a welcomed, drop we've had in silver. And personally, I'm not able to accumulate any more. I'd be out there gobbling it up. I may make a few moves to where I can accumulate a little bit more silver, but I just want to put something out there. Wanted to try and make people feel better who maybe got in for the first time up in the high 40s. I personally wouldn't be jumping out. Now, you need to do enough research yourself. My best recommendation is a book by Mike Maloney, Investing in Gold and Silver, part of the Rich Dad series. That's the best book I've ever read on the fundamentals for silver, the history of silver, what's happened, how do we get to where we're at, how we have major banks manipulating the price. You want to see manipulation? It dropped like within 9 minutes, $6. I mean, that's not a free market. That's a manipulated market. That just got hammered down by the shorts. All the silvers that's been sold short doesn't even exist. There's so much more involved in this market than these people that are just talking about, this is a bubble because, there's overbought. Yeah, we're overbought. We need to correct. But silver's going a lot higher, in my opinion, and I know a lot of other people's opinion. And, that's just the bottom line. There's no fear whatsoever. This drop was welcomed by myself, and I'm sure as it was welcomed by a lot of other people.